When your AC stops working, just call the experts at KS Services Heating and Air. They're fast and affordable. Right now, purchase any Bryant energy efficient system and save with 0% interest for 60 months with approved credit. It comes included with a 5-year labor warranty. And our fair price guarantee means that we will always give you 3 quotes for every situation. A good, better, and best. Call KS Services Heating and Air today. We roll on, whatever it takes.
It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Thursday, the 5th of October. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather stays dry tomorrow. The weekend turning wet thanks to Tropical Storm Nate. Many questions. Let's go in there and check things out today. This is the water vapor satellite view. Same story today. We have upper ridging here across the deep south, troughing back in the northwestern states. The average high for the 5th of October is 79. We're above that by a few degrees in most spots, although Fort Payne is at 77. Keep in mind, we had some spots up in northeast Alabama in the upper 40s this morning. Our Skywatcher up at Black Creek had 48, so a big warm-up today. Around the nation, pretty much the nation bisected. Very cool air up north, warm air down here where we are. Convective outlooks, this is for the rest of today and tonight, a marginal risk for parts of the southwest United States. Now, tomorrow, we have an enhanced risk over parts of Kansas. There's a tornado threat there. That risk extends from the South Plains of Texas up through parts of the Great Plains. And on day 3, which is Saturday, there is a marginal risk of severe weather on parts of the central Gulf Coast along and east of the expected landfall point of Tropical Storm Nate. And we've got the marginal risk for cities like Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Panama City, Apalachicola, Port St. Joe. And there could be a few isolated tornadoes in there. And we'll take a look at this, of course, in detail in a moment. This is the expected rain for the next 5 days or 7 days coming from WPC, and potential for some beneficial rain with Nate for much of the southeastern states. Parts of Alabama, Mississippi may be getting 2 to 3 inches, maybe more in spots. And again, I'll show you some specific modeling in terms of rain amounts here in just a bit. But here's a big picture of the tropics, and the main action, it's right here in the backyard. We have a little spinner, a low that's to the west of Key West, moving west, and we have Nate on the coast of Nicaragua and Honduras. Latest numbers coming in from the Hurricane Center. Top winds 40 miles an hour. It's kind of disorganized, as you can see, with the land interaction. Moving towards the northwest at 9. This will be getting away from land tonight, maybe getting a little stronger. Then it comes up on the Yucatan. We'll look at modeling, tropical models, and we've actually got some pretty darn good agreement here for this early phase of the game. You can see most of the models run it over the tip of the Yucatan, coming up towards southeast Louisiana, then curving northeast into the mid-latitude westerlies, pushing the thing across North Alabama. Here's a look at the intensity guidance, and you can see you've got a couple of outliers, but understand that there's not a firm lock this thing becomes a hurricane. Most of the models keep Nate as a tropical storm, and it's going to be fighting some issues, including some cooler water. In fact, let's take a look at the SSTs over the Gulf. And again, you can see how the water cools down a good bit as you get close to the Gulf Coast. So that's one factor. Also, there'll be some westerly shear and probably some dry air getting in this thing. So again, I still think there's a fair chance this stays a tropical storm, maybe reaching minimal hurricane strength, but one way or the other, I think the main impact will be a lot of rain. This is the official forecast coming from the Hurricane Center. They still develop this into a Category 1 hurricane by Saturday morning over the Gulf. They bring it inland Sunday morning around the mouth of the Mississippi River, then curving up through South Mississippi and North Alabama during the day Sunday. And then the remnant depression is over Pennsylvania by Tuesday morning. In terms of timing, this is the earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical storm force winds, and this is suggesting tropical storm force winds could begin on the central Gulf Coast during the day Saturday, and again, that's winds of over 39 miles per hour. So a lot to talk about. Let's run through the modeling here. This is the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and you see the trough back in the western states, a flat ridge here. The sky should be mostly sunny with a high in the mid-80s tomorrow. A warm, dry October day. Saturday, moisture begins to feed northward. We've got Nate, which should be a tropical storm south of the Louisiana coast. And again, for Saturday, we're going to mention just a few scattered showers. I understand we got a lot of things happening. Auburn's got a football game at 11 at Jordan-Hare. UAB's got a football game at 3 o'clock at Legion Field in Birmingham. Could there be a shower at those stadiums? Yes, but I just don't think rain will be a big problem. Showers during the day should be pretty scattered. The better chance will likely be later in the day and Saturday night. So let's go to Sunday morning. This is the GFS, and Sunday morning at 7 a.m. It's got Nate coming in, most likely as a tropical storm over the Louisiana coast west, well west of New Orleans. Then by 1 o'clock, it's got the circulation of Nate near Jackson, Mississippi, and of course that puts Alabama on the wet side. And then Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, it's a little west of Tupelo, Mississippi. So Sunday would be a breezy and wet day with periods of rain. We'll have to watch for a few isolated tornadoes, but the tornado threat will be determined by the strength and the structure of Nate. And again, at this phase of the game, it's a little too early to call. Certainly we'll have to watch for that. So again, this is Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. Let's go to some of the other models at the same time. This is Sunday evening at 7 o'clock off the NAM. This is the 12-kilometer NAM, and it's got the thing near Montgomery. And it's a little bit of an outlier now, and I'd say we'll reject that. Let's go to the European Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, and it's got the thing near Meridian, Mississippi, or maybe north of Meridian. And again, between the GFS and the European, the agreement is now pretty good. And let's give credit to the GFS. You know, we bash that thing a lot, but it's performed much better. And the Europeans had to adjust over to the GFS in this case, which is a little different than the way it's been so far this season. But one way or the other, confidence is increasing that we will be on the wet side of this thing, with most of the rain coming Saturday night and Sunday for Alabama. It's not going to rain the entire time. There'll be some breaks. But let's look at the rain amounts coming off the European. And this is valid really all the way through Tuesday morning, but you can see this is suggesting the heaviest rain, if this were to verify, would be over west and north Alabama. In fact, this is showing 4.2 inches for Tuscaloosa, 2.2 for Birmingham, 3 for Huntsville, and amounts lighter for places like Anniston and Gadsden and Montgomery. But understand that this can and probably will change. It's just one idea. And again, I think the main threat's going to be heavy rain and maybe a few isolated tornadoes. Late Saturday night and Sunday, so we'll have to watch the radar carefully. You know, it's like the whack-a-mole thing. Those are hard to deal with. But the good news, I think, in all of this is the fact that the models have trended kind of weaker in the overall solution with this thing. And again, could it be a minimal hurricane? Yes, but I think more than likely it's going to be a tropical storm with rain, the main issue. We'll go to Monday. The moisture kind of lingers. It's back to the GFS. The remnant circulation is over West Virginia, moving up toward Pennsylvania. And if this is right, we still need to mention a pretty decent chance of showers on Monday with a very moist air mass in place. Tuesday, the showers begin to thin out, and this is Wednesday, and that looks relatively dry. And we're still warm. We're still up in the 80s. In fact, let's go to Thursday. There's a 594 ridge on top of us. And down below that, that would be warm and dry if this verifies, although a cooler air mass tries to nose in here. That's kind of the edge of a big 1040 high coming out of Alaska. And maybe a bit cooler at that point. This is the end of the forecast period. This is Sunday, October 15th. Got a broad northwest flow aloft and a dry air mass. Check the numbers. Highs stay in the 80s through the middle of next week, and after that, a cooling trend. Highs going back in the 70s very slowly, but no sign of any really unseasonably cold air for early in the season for the next 15 days. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
AC broken? Just call KS Services Heating and Air. All Bryant energy-efficient systems come with a 5-year labor warranty, and our fair price guarantee means that we'll always give you 3 quotes for every situation. Just call KS Services Heating and Air today.